G'day, battlers, and today we are jumping in to take a look at the Electric Cup that is coming to Go Battle League this coming week from January 26th through to February 2nd. Now, literally yesterday, less than a week before the Cup starts, Niantic came through with an update to the ban list because the original ban list was a little strange. We were sort of feeling like it might have been wrong, but they've come in and made the changes very late in the game, but regardless, the Cup isn't here yet. So, Electric Cup, really simple to understand. It is electric types in the Great League. Bada bing, bada boom. Also, the 4 bans as below: Stunfisk, Heliolisk, Charjabug, and Vikavolt. Stunfisk, Heliolisk, and Vikavolt have been banned because they have access to either Mud Bomb or Mud Slap, so they'd be really oppressive in the Cup. And Charjabug was just originally banned, potentially an oopsie, and was supposed to be Vikavolt. Not 100% sure there, but regardless, it's kind of just a bulkier Galvantula, but it's still on the ban list as well. So with that said, let's just jump in and take a look at the Meta Simplified infographic. There is technically one little bit of ground in there that we'll talk about as we go that could be really good if you are lucky enough to have it, because luck is going to play a big part in it. But let's jump in. That's just for the thumbnail. Now, we've got 4 main groups over in the main graphic and then a couple core breakers down below us. I will focus in on the main graphic first, just because I think that's going to describe a lot of the interactions we are going to see in this meta. So we have Galvantula up the top, and essentially that's going to be running a different moveset than usual. We're going to see Fury Cutter as a fast move, and then Lunge, Energy Ball as the charge moves. Ditching the electric moves, which probably makes sense in the Electric Cup, because everything's got the electric typing, so electric isn't going to be the big premium that it is in sort of the Open Great League or other metas. We also have Lantern over in the left-hand side, running Water Gun instead of Spark, and then still running that Surf Thunderbolt. At the bottom of the graphic, we have the Pokemon that have access to grass moves that aren't Galvantula, so Hisuian Electrode with Energy Ball and Minun with Grass Knot. On the right-hand side, we've got the Alolan Rocks, who are going to be running Rock Throw as a fast move instead of Volt Switch or any other electric move. And PvPoke actually recommends that you go for a full Rock moveset as well. No electric move in sight. So, some of them got Stone Edge, some of them got Rock Blast, but it's all Stone, all Rock, all the time. So it's pretty simple to understand how these main matchups go before we get into the core breakers. So the grass types down the bottom are going to be really good against Lantern, Grass, and really good against the rocks. Grass super effective to rock. Really simple. And then they are going to lose to Galvantula. Hisuian Electrode, because it has the grass typing, so Lunge is really good against it. And Minun just doesn't really win out against Galvantula because Galvantula is quite attack weighted, so it does do a lot of damage still. So Galvantula is just generally able to win that one out. Lantern, because it's got Water Gun, it's going to be doing really good against those rock types in the Alolan Rocks. Going to be losing to the Pokemon that have grass damage, basically, which is guys down the bottom and then Galvantula up the top. Whereas Lantern just isn't... Well, actually, Lantern versus Galvantula is a bit of an interesting matchup. It isn't as one-sided as this sort of lays it out. In the one shield, Galvantula needs to get the bait with a lunge and then land the energy ball. Basically, Galvantula needs to land the energy ball. That is the sort of bottom line for how Galvantula beats Lantern. And it doesn't matter whether you're running Volt Switch or Fury Cutter. It's just like purely you need to land the energy ball. And if you don't, then Lantern is actually going to be able to take that one out. So there's a little bit of counterplay there. And I probably shouldn't have put it in a single arrow form because I don't think that sort of gives Lantern justice. Lantern definitely more useful than this sort of shows, but Galvantula does have that win con tucked right up its sleeve, ready to go, and wins the default PvPoke sims. Now Galvantula is also going to be losing to those rock throwers because you've got the bug typing there, so rock is definitely super effective. And that's sort of like, that pretty much covers everything like in that main meta. It's rock is there to counter bug, grass is there to counter rock and water, and Galvantula is sort of like riding the edge between being just sort of a normal electric type, but then having access to that energy ball, which also gives it play back against those Alolan Rocks if it can land it. So in my opinion, I think that Galvantula is probably going to be one of the big safe swaps in this meta, because even with that little bit of energy, I think you only need one turn to actually be able to go. I could be a little off on this, but I think it's one turn. So swap into Galvantula and then a Lantern comes in and you can actually just go straight energy ball and you'll be able to win that one shield there. So it's definitely a close one, and I think that Galvantula, with that ability to get to the energy balls a little bit faster, maybe throw one against an Alolan Rock and win. I think Galvantula is sort of the king of the meta, I suppose, is one way to put it. Lantern definitely really good as well, because it's got so much bulk to it. It's got ability to damage a lot of the meta as well, but there's just a couple Pokemon that sort of lie around as sort of hard counters. And the reason we've got mine in here, this is a very scatterbrained video, but hopefully some of it's sort of landing. You're getting the gist of it. The reason we have mine in here instead of Plusle is mine is just a little bit bulkier. And so Plusle actually performs a fair bit worse than mine, just by virtue of being a little bit more attack weighted. But you know, it is what it is. If you really want to run like a Plusle mine double team, then you probably can, and it's probably not the worst team in the world, but it's probably better off running like a different Pokemon with grass damage, whether it's Galvantula or Hisuian Electrode. But, you know, it is what it is. So that's sort of the main ones. I guess the only other thing of note over there is that Alolan Geodude is currently ranked higher than the other Alolan Rocks, which I just think that's kind of awesome. So, you know, I guess that the other thing, you can run triple Alolan Rock, but it's probably not that awesome just because you are losing to a lot of the meta, and they're mainly just there to counter Galvantula. But regardless, we have some core breakers down below us. That includes Luxray. Now, Luxray is that one Pokemon that is packing some ground damage in the form of ground hidden power. So, you know, the way the hidden power works in Pokemon Go is that each Pokemon is locked into a single hidden power typing. So if you have one Luxray, no matter how many TMs you use, is always going to have the one type of hidden power. So check your Luxrays, maybe evolve some Shinxes, see if you can find one with ground hidden power, because it is actually going to be really good in this meta, just because Snarl charges up pretty quickly. Oh, you're definitely not running Snarl if you're running Hidden Power. Hidden Power is just really good against the electric types, against the Alolan Rocks, double super effective to the Alolan Rocks, and basically, like, it shouldn't take too much imagination to be like, hey, ground damage, really good. And ground hidden power Luxray is actually ranked number 2 on PvPoke. So it's definitely a very strong Pokemon. And you've got Psychic Fangs, which can put on some debuff pressure as well, which can definitely help you out in some other matchups, even if you might be going down. A couple other core breakers, less effective than Luxray. We've got Electrode in there, who's really just doing neutral damage. You've got access to Foul Play and Hyper Beam. That's kind of the end of the story. It's a good Pokemon. It's got a little bit of bulk to it, and it can do some damage there. Manectric, Togedemaru, Magnezone, Pachirisu. These Pokemon are really just other ways to get neutral damage in. They aren't sort of fitting into this main archetype where you've got the rock versus bug versus water versus grass sort of things going on. So they're just sort of other neutral picks that you might also opt to bring as sort of safe swaps. So like, you know, Manectric might be an okay one. But yeah, and Pachirisu is just there for basically bulk. Like, it's just a really bulky Pokemon. It's okay on the PvPoke rankings, but it's basically just because it has bulk. Like, it isn't really doing damage to anything. It's just ability to survive for a while it sort of does little bits of damage. But, you know, end of day, that's sort of the Electric Cup in a nutshell. Mainly focus on those ones, plus the ground hidden power Luxray, and then some of those other picks like Electrode might be able to sort of fill some gaps and do some good things depending on your team composition. But yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, especially that subscribe one. Thank you to my patrons and supporters on YouTube as well. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one, whatever that may be, and good luck in the Electric Cup.